Hello everyone, I decided to do a question and answer video for some of the questions that I have been receiving via Facebook inbox and also via YouTube. There were some questions in regards to my trip to Cameroon and how things have been since I have been back to the United States. I guess there's just a series of questions, about 10 to 15 that are commonly asked questions about my whole trip. So I have my son here, Demario, who's going to ask the questions that have come in from Facebook and YouTube, and I'm just going to give responses to the questions that have been commonly asked.
Okay. So our first question is, what made you want to take a DNA test?
Taking the DNA test was a part of, I guess it was started from when my son was doing a project in school in regards to a lineage chart, and I thought it was important, since we could only trace our history back to a certain part on both my mom and my dad's side. It was important to go further beyond that. I saw that Oprah Winfrey had taken her DNA test, and I actually went out there and researched and found out that the test was a lot cheaper. And I wanted to be able to give that information, the results, to my son because of what he was going through at school. So you remember?
Yeah, I remember that test. We were supposed to do an ancestry project, and I saw all the kids had ancestry. Even this one kid had this Chinese kid had his ancestry all the way back to 500 AD, I believe, a little bit before that too, like when his family lineage were emperors and stuff. So I was like, that's impressive. And then I was a group with a lot of black. My group mates were, black as well, and the only one of us that could trace our lineage back so far was this Ethiopian girl, and she could only do it all the way back to the 1600s as well, and we can only do ours back to the 1800s, when we were a little bit less, like maybe 1700s, but not as far back as the other kids who were actually going back to the 500 AD, which is a long time. So I guess it was really depressing for me because I couldn't trace my lineage back, and I guess my group mates also said that trying to trace back a black person's lineage back any further would be hard to impossible because of the fact that many of our documents were lost during the slave trade. So yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I remember that day.
So it was important for not just myself, but also for my son, and then when he has kids, he can be able to tell that his ancestry did not start as slavery. We didn't begin as slaves, that we actually started someplace else. As you recall in my other videos, I mentioned that my dad took the DNA test, and it was convenient, like his project and my parents' birthdays came around the same time. So I purchased a DNA test for my dad, and then also purchased a DNA test for my mom. And my dad's results came back 99.7 or either 99.4% Mindy of Sierra Leone, and my mom's results came back 100% Mafa of Cameroon.
So I guess, yeah, you talk about that. When you first gave the DNA test, you expected that the people on your mom's side would be Tanzania, and the people on your dad's side would be from Ghana. So how did you feel after you got the results, and the results said that the people on your mom's side were from Mafa, and the people on your father's side was from Sierra Leone?
I really didn't know it would actually trace back to a specific tribe, and I thought that that was really interesting. I didn't know anything about Cameroon, and the only reason I was talking about Ghana and Tanzania to my son is because those are one of the countries that are well known in Africa, and Ghana has this big movement right now where a lot of African Americans are settling over in Ghana. So, and I've seen a lot of pictures from Ghana. So I was like, yes, please, please let us be from Ghana. But I'm pretty happy with the results. I'm glad to know that I have lineage from Cameroon. Cameroon has a very rich history, and Sierra Leone I'm very familiar with because I used to have a roommate named Abdul who was from Sierra Leone. So I knew enough about Sierra Leone. And I kind of wasn't really shocked because I saw him and his family, and I felt that my dad's family members kind of resembled my roommate. So I was happy with both results, definitely.
And I was just happy with the fact that, I still found my lineage. I wasn't really expecting anything. Um, we were actually expecting that the test would fail because of the fact that, many of the tests that other people did, it traced back to their European descent instead of their African descent. So I was thinking that the test would actually fail and trace back to somewhere else. However, when it traced back and said that we were from the Mafa tribe and that we were from the Mendi tribe of Sierra Leone, I was actually very relieved, and I was even more relieved at the fact that the Mafa tribe, that both tribes still exist to this day and weren't wiped out. That was my main concern, that hopefully I have living testament to, the fact that my ancestors, are still existing, because I think many of the tribes got wiped out, after slave trade. So I'm really relieved that my Mafa tribe still exists, and I can go to it one of these days. So, how was your mindset before you started this journey?
Once I got the DNA test back, I knew that I was going to Cameroon. I wasn't really sure about Sierra Leone, but I knew that because of what was going on with, I guess they were recovering from some civil wars, and then I think around that time the Ebola virus outbreak came out. So I didn't really think I could make it over there, but I knew I was going to Cameroon, so I started doing my research to try to find out how to get over there. And people thought I was crazy, but I just knew I was going to go to the mountains and being a part of the far north. It was just a matter of time and research in order to make it happen. So I was glad that I did come across a group called the English-speaking Mafas of Cameroon. Once I found that group, everything else became really easy. I didn't realize that Cameroon was a French territory, or a lot of people spoke French. So a lot of the information about my tribe was in French, but I was searching in English. So before the trip, everything was going fast. We took our DNA test in December, got the results back January of 2014, and then I started booking my flight in March of 2014, and then I was on my plane in June. So everything started, well, actually I was on my plane in July of 2014. So everything was going really fast. I was really excited, and my mood before the trip was just overall excitement, definitely.
I think my mood before the trip was, I guess, I was trying to anticipate what I would see, I was trying to do a compare and contrast first, because I guess over here, the culture over here, about how they depict, how I see things over here and how they depict Africans on TV, on the television. I was expecting to see, to hopefully see a few things. Like, for example, on the television they always show Africans in like a deplorable state. So I guess before the start of the journey, I was having those same stereotypes, because I've never really seen Africa, I've never seen how they lived, and they always show them a certain way on the television. So before the journey, I was like, hopefully when you get over there, I hope things are different from the way I think they're about to be. And I'm glad that And I guess that brings to this, that segues to the next question, which is how was the mindset? How was your mindset afterwards?
My mindset afterwards is that just feel blessed. I feel blessed that I made it to Cameroon, to a part of the north that was kind of like that the U.S. Embassy said that I really shouldn't travel to, but I did anyway. I'm glad I made it there and made it back. And it was God with me the whole time. So it was an exciting journey. I'm glad to be able to have videos to share with everyone else and other people that are interested in going to the north. I'm also glad that I have videos to share with my son because, as he said, I think the United States media, television in general, just does a horrible job in portraying African nations, African countries. And there's always this very narrow view of what Africa is, like extreme poverty. And I didn't really see a lot of that during my trip. I saw kind of two different worlds, like the type that people were living in houses, very city side of being in Cameroon. And then I did see the part that was very village. I did see huts, and I did see, people living in what we call kind of a little bit, not even a rural, very rural lifestyle. So to see both of that was amazing, and it kind of put a lot of things in perspective. I think that the United States and the media in general is doing a horrible portrayal of African countries. So that's what I think. That's what I know now coming back from Cameroon.
And seeing my mom's experiences, seeing how things are over there, it gives me, a new I guess it kind of like gives me a little bit of a mission and a little bit of a purpose and what I have to do in my life, because I've always believed in restoring my lineage and heritage, so that my children will never have to go through the same things that I went through, have to question themselves, and have people question them on where they come from. And I guess it gave me, because my mom met individuals over there, some very good people, and they discussed with her the problems that were over there. And there are a lot of them. There's the fact that they don't really have their own airlines. The French control that, their water supply is a certain way, and the recent Boko Haram crisis. There's a lot that's going on over there, and in the Cameroon and in the Mafa tribe. So I guess it just gave me a new purpose. That's how my mindset afterwards, and I'm going to make it my mission to hopefully go over there
And be involved in
and
the
be
community.
involved in the community. Did the DNA test motivate you to take the journey to Africa? And if so, what did?
Yes.
And if not, what did? Sorry.
Yes, the DNA test did motivate me. Like I said, I knew that was something that was possible. I didn't really know about the cost, but when I found out the cost of the DNA test, I thought it was overall reasonable. I think I paid $250 per test, so it was overall about $500 for my dad's results and my mom's results. But there was no doubt within my mind that as soon as I got the test, I was going to be on a plane and going to Africa. I think going to Africa with the mindset is I'm going to see my people, I'm going to see my relatives, I'm going to see my family, people that share the same DNA results was I think more important than going as a tourist. So when I went, I felt a part of the community, and I had the mindset that, hey, we are the same, and I went with that thought process. So that made the whole overall experience just awesome. So yes, I knew I was going. I definitely knew that.
And the test motivated you to do
Yeah,
this?
and the test definitely motivated me to go to Cameroon.
Yeah. How was your start of the process? Like, what did you go through? Trying to start this journey before you took the flight? What were you trying to do in order to take this flight?
Okay, so I had a friend, well, not a friend, but an online acquaintance that I haven't met in person, but he did his DNA test, and I reached out to him on one of his videos. His name is Glenn Fisher. I think a lot of you that are interested in DNA testing might be following him. He did his test and he did a trip to Cameroon as a Takar. So his test results came back as Takar. And so I reached out to him and he gave me a name of an acquaintance that helped me with booking my gave me a name to another person that helped me book my trip. So it didn't really go that well as far as the person that was supposed to be my tour guide. He kind of took my money, my $500, and left me.
Say no names.
His name is Izza.
There you go.
Okay, is in the Fogger, okay? Took my $500. Oh, he lives here in the United States. He ought to be ashamed of himself because I actually got straight at the airport and a young member of my tribe, along with his friends that are Mafa, came and picked me up at the airport in Yaoundé of Cameroon, Africa. So it took a lot. I know a lot more now than I knew back then. And there's a lot of mistakes that I made along the way, and I would like to tell people that you can't always trust people with money. So if you can refrain from doing wire transfers, please don't do that, because people will rip you off. They will take your hard-earned money and you will be left out or left feeling very taken advantage of.
Like, I know the process is hard and stuff, but please do your own work. Book your own hotel, book your own flight.
Yeah.
Please do not rely on people doing it for you. It will not go well. You will lose $500. That's all I have to say. I mean, I tried to tell her.
My son was on me about that. He said, "Don't you send them people no money. Don't you
told
send
her.
it's a $500."
I told her.
But I did it anyway, and I got screwed over. So
But it still
it's a learning
worked out.
experience.
It still worked
I
out.
still went and had a good time, but he didn't do his part, so I lost out on like $500.
How was the flight?
The flight, oh my God, if you've never been on an international flight, let me tell you, the flight was unbelievable. Going to, taking the trip from Atlanta to DC, from DC to Brussels, and you have nothing but like televisions on the seats, and I didn't have anybody sitting next to me, so I could stretch out and put down the pillow and go to sleep. So the international flight and the food, it was just really, really good. No turbulence. I really had a good time on my flight. It was like 23 hours to get to Yaoundé of Cameroon, but it was totally worth it.
Okay. So how was your experiences when you got there?
When I got there, I think I've explained on another video where there was a language barrier. There wasn't a lot of people that spoke English, but I think the most important thing with just meeting people in general is that eye contact, making sure you're looking at body language. I think that played a lot in the communication, and the fact that I did have two, I would say, interpreters. One that's did a translation from English to French, and another one that did a translation from French to Mafa. So that helped out a lot, definitely.
And what about I saw in your videos, or people saw in your videos that you had like parties and stuff, or
let me tell you. Yeah, when you do get to go, do not be afraid to enjoy the nightlife while you're in Yaoundé. The club scene was really, really nice, and it really just reminded me of being at any club here in Atlanta, except the music was a little bit different. There was a lot more African artists that was a part of what the DJs were playing, but as far as dancing, they can dance, and Africans can dance. Whew. And we just had a really good time. I had a really good time being in Yaoundé with the group that I was with. So I have absolutely no regrets about my trip. I know a lot of people thought I was crazy going as a single female, but when I say it was so worth it, it was very, very worth it. God got me there and God got me back.
So those were the good parts. Were there any bad parts? Anything to watch out for?
Like I said, do not send wire transfers to people you do not know. You will get ripped off. Do not do that. Cameroon, unfortunately, has a lot of con artists, people that will take advantage of your money. So do not send wire transfers. Try to do everything on your own. If you need information on how to book your flights. Google Flights is very good right now and can help you book your airline tickets. You can also call the hotels directly. Like the Hilton that's there, you can look out for price changes and just book a room at the Hilton. You don't have to go through all that I went through. Another bad part is that the guy that was my tour guide, our translator, that was a young Mafa student, Walid, he later on when I came back to the United States did some kind of horrible stuff. He tried to blackmail me for money, and I was really disappointed in that. So there's some character, I wouldn't say that bad character is a part of people in Cameroon. You meet bad people everywhere, but you have to be mindful that there's some people that are very greedy and money hungry, and they will try to take advantage of you just because you're an American. There are some people that won't look at you like you're part of the family. They will look at you as somebody to take advantage of. So you have to be very careful and protect yourself, especially if you're a female. Especially if you're a female.
And if you're by yourself.
And especially if you're by yourself. If you can, please travel in a pack. Preferably 2 or 3 people. Don't do what I did.
One of the males, with one of you guys being males too.
You definitely have a male as a part of your tour group or people that you're traveling with. Definitely do that. I think I made a mistake in that area, and I can testify that that wasn't right. I should have done it a little bit different, but I was just so excited, and I kind of threw caution in the wind. It worked out, fortunately, but so many things could have been avoided if I had done things a little bit different.
Yeah. So, so you went to Africa. You saw how it was. What did it inspire you to do afterwards?
Okay, so now I have a foundation that's built called Mafination LLC. And we do work here to give medical supplies over to the Mafa people in Cameroon, in particular in the mountains. I think you saw one of the YouTube videos in regards to the hospitals. I think the healthcare facilities need some work. And luckily, my son is going to be a doctor, so he'll help out once he gets a little bit older. But yeah, I think that we are a people, we are one, and the DNA test helped me to feel that connection with other people, other Mafa people that share my DNA, and so I'm very, very concerned and want to be involved in the process of infrastructure betterment, and also things involving education, and making sure that we stay involved with the community. I saw a need, and because of that need, I went and built a foundation here in the United States, in actually Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. And did you learn any principles or anything from your experiences in Cameroon or on this whole journey overall? Did you learn? What lessons did you learn?
I think it's changed me spiritually. I have nothing against the way that we have our let me rephrase that. My look at black churches, and particularly mega churches, have changed a little bit. I'm now seeing that you are your own church on the inside. If you want to go to the altar, you don't have to wait until Sunday to do it. Okay, I have an altar now built in my room for prayer, and I make sure I pray there daily. So I think it changed me spiritually. I feel more connected. When I do say my prayers a lot more, it's not always about just Christ. I also talk to my ancestors. I think it's important to do that because we're connected through them. Everything that they have hoped for and wished is a part of us, so it's important to talk to them and ask questions and pray for understanding. I think it's important to talk to your ancestors. I never really did that before, but I do that a lot now. So that's one of the ways that I have been changed. I think spiritually I've been changed in that way.
Yeah, I've been changed ever since actually going through this whole thing. I've learned that, especially for just I think in general, if you see a member of just somebody, suffering anywhere, or if you see somebody, that you think you can help them improve, you should make it a mission to do so. Um, you know, and in regards to family, because the Mafa tribe is my family. You should definitely help out your family, and I just think that helped instilled into me to make it my mission to, when I become an adult, I'm gonna definitely help out
Yeah, just
those
to
around me. Reach out.
reach out beyond your immediate circle. It's not about just me taking care of my son or me taking care of my parents. You have to reach your circle. You're designed to plant seeds and to make impacts greater than your immediate family.
Life is not just all about. I learned that
Yeah.
life is not all about just you and what goes on just around you. It's about what goes on around you. It's what goes on beyond you. You need to reach out as far as you can. Just don't focus on yourself. The simple life. You need to make sure that you make it a mission to experience all things and to fix wherever you see there's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's
And
what I
think
learned.
international.
And think international.
Yes.
And so, is there anything? What would you have done differently?
What would I have done differently about my
Yes,
trip?
sure.
I wish I would have learned a lot more French before going on my trip. I think it's imperative if you're going to Cameroon to please learn French. I think I just didn't even think about that. I just went on my trip with only knowing English and thought that would be enough, and it was, but a little bit.
Not really.
Not really. But learn French. I think it's important to do that. That's one thing that I would change. I also wish that I wasn't so trusting when it came to money and character. There's people that you will encounter that will treat you, like I said, like you have so much money, and they will look at you as somebody to take advantage of. And when you feel that from those people, when they give you those kind of signs, do not be bothered with that, because you don't have to. I know a lot of us are feeling like, hey, we'll do anything to make a connection, but you don't have to do that.
Don't set
crap.
yourself up like that. If you don't get
Yeah.
brand new just because you're about to do something new, you still keep tight to your principles. You don't just give money out just to whoever. You do your own diligent work. Just don't get brand new, because I think that's what happened to you when you started the trip. You said you would get trusting.
I got a little bit too trusting.
Yeah, she got trusting and got
taken
taken from it. This
not,
is just
not once, not twice, but 3 times.
3 times.
So my son is kind of like, I'm so done on
and
that.
this is not just a. I see on TV a lot that they portray Africans as being con artists and stuff, and I think after going through this journey, I think the main problem is that people they just act differently. They just let go of all that. They let their defenses down.
Yeah, I let my defenses down. If I was here in Atlanta or either in New York or DC or even in Miami where I'm from, there's certain things I wouldn't do. I don't care who you are.
The guard would be up. However,
my guard would be up, but I think I let mine down.
So don't set yourself up. Africans are no different from, people anywhere else.
In our community.
Just don't set yourself up.
Yeah, so that's what I would do different. I wouldn't be so trusting. I would be myself. I wish I was myself a lot more. And I wish I had traveled with people that I knew, so that I could have a level of comfort and somebody to confide in that was actually from the United States, that I can discuss any kind of uncomfortable situation with. I wish I had a male companion, being my son, my brother or uncle or dad, or even a male friend that had traveled with me that's an African American male. I think a lot of things wouldn't happen on my trip if I.
And that doesn't mean be on guard when you get there. I don't think it means that. Just be sure. Just know that there's a different culture over there, and that it's male dominated, of course.
Very male dominated.
And that it's the same here. Don't just. It's like going to. Just don't let your guard down. Just stay true to yourself.
Right.
You wouldn't just give out your money just to anyone. Don't do it. don't do it when you start to take this journey. It makes no sense. Right? Don't be coming back crying, oh, they stole my money. Those actors, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I mean, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning lesson, and I wish that, Izzy and Walid didn't do what they did to me, but it's all good. All I can say is that a lot of positive things have happened as a result, and I do have my African name, my Mafa name, so I'm very proud of that, and I will take my son back, because out of all the things that I did go through that might have, some negativity to it, I can say that 95% of my trip was very, very good.
Yeah, like you met some good individuals.
I met some awesome individuals, people with great character,
Like-
and people that was definitely understood what I was trying to do, to connect African Americans and Africans together that have, that share the same bloodline, and just to make it a family thing, because we need each other. I don't care how you try to make it look like we're so much different from each other. No, there's some things that need to be repaired, and and some bridges that need to be built, and we need to come together as a people. So,
Like, what are some of the names?
some of the people that have helped me, let's see. So
Shout out to you guys.
a shout out to a shout out to Mr. Paravet, who is the Minister of Employment and Vocational Training. He helped me. He actually interviewed with me, which was very good. He gave me time within his own home to ask some questions, and he helped me along with my trip. Zaraf, he gave me a place to stay when I was in Mokolo, so I did stay in his home. His daughter, Chanaka, yeah, she was there and made me feel comfortable, because I needed a female friend, because I was surrounded by males like mostly all the time, and I needed a female friend, so it was good to have her around, and also her mom. And then there was William, who was in the military, the commander of the military. He did a lot to help out with the trip and made sure that I was safe during my journey to the mountains, because of Boko Haram, and the security alert was really, really high. And there was Matthew, who was the driver and translator, and also Joel, and a lot of people that gave donations here from the United States, be it Craig Harris, Kari Pastena, the Black Youth Student Union from Miami, Florida. It was so many people, Lakeisha Hart, Cynthia Green. It was so many people here that helped me to prepare for my journey to go also.
Yeah, thanks to all of you for
So
being.
thank you. If I forgot any names, I'm so sorry, but you know who you are, and I am forever grateful for everyone that helped with this, this unprecedented, what is it? Did I say the word right? This,
Harassment.
that everyone that helped with definitely the experience.
Yeah.
And I think it gave a lot, my videos and their help gave information to other people that would like to
It
take
helps
their
mend
journey.
the bridge, helps mend
Yeah.
Mafination.
Mafination. Yeah, it helps mend the bridge. So definitely, I had a lot of people that helped along the way. I didn't do it by myself. So I'm forever grateful. So that's all the questions. I think you did a good job. So until next time, thank you.